We've had literally pretty much every vendor that you can think of that's in this current space. It wasn't as efficient as and streamlined as what VINCUE is. And a lot of it was a lot of limitations of just failure to make the improvements necessary, which really means that they weren't listening to the customer. Joe Feldman at Feldman Imports, Mercedes-Benz dealership here in Bloomington, Minnesota. Family owned and operated for 40 plus years, currently president and GM of our operation. We've had literally pretty much every vendor that you can think of that's in this current space. Red Bumper, First Look, Viato. We were partners with those guys for several years. But the biggest issue always typically was it wasn't as efficient and streamlined as what VinCue is. And a lot of it was a lot of limitations of just failure to make the improvements necessary, which really means that they weren't listening to the customer. For us, the driving factor in our switch this last go around was really the vehicle descriptions, and for sure pricing and visibility into that, along with just making better and quicker decisions. But the descriptions was a giant pain point for us. The previous company was very well aware of it. They just chose not to do anything about it. But for a used car manager or any manager to have to, put those vehicle descriptions in and to not have it automatically pull, the time and energy and just countless waste, just a giant time sunk was our driving factor in saying, okay, enough's enough, something has to change. So for the descriptions, especially with all these manufacturers, specifically for us with Mercedes-Benz, no exaggeration, but I mean, one car, as far as just putting in the stats the old way, 20, 30 minutes just for one car. That's a long time to have to be spending and jumping to different screens, getting the information, to have to manually go in there versus just reading the information, reading the MSRP, and then pulling that into the system. So now it literally takes us minutes, if that. I mean, it's almost too easy. And as a result, it really has given our managers time to spend their time with our people, which is really where it needs to be, and with our customers. So when these things become more of an admin type of scenario and taking them away from what they need to be doing and what we want them doing, and really what they know that they should be doing, it's a two-edged sword of, okay, what's most important? So the fact that now that is more efficient, it really has changed even our people's lives. Another giant reason for us switching was the systems that are currently out there. They're not making it efficient and so in other ways, such as leads would come into our CRM. However, they weren't pushing into the trade system. Now that everything is right there together, we can literally see everything and really identify really what is the true opportunity in terms of how many cars do we want to acquire and where are they going to be acquired from. So to have the visibility and the transparency, it really has helped with accountability and having good, healthy conversations as to really what should that total number actually look like. The other system, when you're using three other platforms trying to get that information, then you have to go work out of those other systems to try to at least communicate with those clients. Truth being, none of it's really getting done at that point. For us, with that vehicle buying center and that widget that's there, it's huge because again, everything is coming into one platform. Our trade tool sits on our website. That's also VinCue. Our service drive focus. It's obviously just regular trade appraisals for customers coming through the store. Having everything right there, just our conversations are that much quicker, so we're that much more efficient, and we can really identify really what is the true opportunity. The game changer right now for us is for sure with VinCue going to auto alert, getting those two parties together. We can now just literally be in the auto alert system, push the trade, it goes right into VinCue, and that's all the information's right there, and that has sped up the process. So we're able to just look at more proposals quicker. And as a result, we're taking in more trades. Our salespeople are using it that much quicker versus printing it out, bringing it in, having someone enter in the information. We were able just to conduct quicker business, look at more deals, more transaction, more. As a result, every one of us is focused on wanting more trades. these next 4 to 5 years, it's going to have to come through private party and through our own business, and obviously, conquesting new business. It's not going to be at the auction. So the fact that VINCUE has made this super easy and transparent, and plus the accountability is now there as a result. So that, as a result, is allowing us to acquire more trades, which then obviously results in us selling more cars. It's really opened everyone's eyes as to the opportunity from a private party standpoint. So what we thought was a good number in terms of what we want to potentially take in a trade, it's literally blown the lid off of what our expectations were. So, truth being, we didn't really know what the number is. So we did pick a number each month as far as setting those goals, which VinQ's application for that, it really helps with that, with looking at the historical. So we've increased what we've been purchasing just from what we thought we could do by over 50%. And we know that there's still a lot more there. So we're putting the resources now behind that and creating departments within departments, just because that opportunity is so great. So that's where it's like the scary thing is we don't even really know what the true potential is. We for sure know that what we thought it was, that we were, one, wrong, two, our limited thinking in terms of what we thought it was. And now the fact that it's all there and you can see it, it's really the sky's the limit. The appraisal process, same thing, is really robust. Easy to use. All the information is there at your fingertips. Again, because it's pulling the information, it really helps us know what the vehicle has in terms of equipment, especially off-brand vehicles and for sure our own vehicles. But really easy to use. I love the fact that has the real-time stats, so you can actually see as people are appraising cars or pricing cars or what have you. That real time is really huge. But with us having literally all the vendors previously, in my opinion, and obviously I'm biased at this point, but with spending a lot of time and energy with these other systems, it's really has sped up that whole process in the appraisal within the appraisal tool and the application. Between acquisition to retail has sped up. Immensely. I'm a student of the game. You have to master your craft. So for me, it was just being frustrated with the previous vendor, and they did a decent job, but knowing that there was still a lot more that could be accomplished, I just started looking online and found VinCue online, and really it was me reaching out to VinCue, and which I realized maybe is a little bit backwards because usually people are soliciting business, but when you know that there's always someone out there that's always looking for an opportunity and trying to improve on what exists. That's what I saw when I found VinCue, and I reached out as a result of that. I'm going to be honest with you, though, the implementation, any implementation is a rocky road, but knowing that VinCue was just as dedicated and had a commitment to make sure that everything, all the I's dotted and T's crossed, we felt like we truly had a partner, and we knew that we could keep making it. So really, we were kind of our own worst enemy in it, because it was like, well, what about this? Well, what about this? What about this? And have a partner like VinCue that gets just as excited about us asking questions. They're just as equally excited to hear about how can they make our lives easier, because it impacts not just Feldman Imports, it's the whole population that's using it. To be able to take that information and show that, hey, we listen, we care, but most importantly, we're going to roll this stuff out every single month. There's nothing else like it. It's time to move to VinCue. The reason why, at the end of the day, is that the saying, you can either lead, follow, or get out of the way. VinCue is leading. They want to be the best, and they're not afraid to take the information and actually implement it. It really has opened our eyes as to how big and how really the sky's the limit in terms of how quick, how fast do we want to grow. VinCue is giving us the details to really be able to help answer that question. Now it's just a matter of us doing our part.